Hey, good morning. It's a rainy, chilly spring day here, but I'm thrilled that you're here to join me. I'm Rita Hickman. I'm a body mind expert, a Shiatsu massage therapist, and my specialty is helping women who are in toxic or narcissistic relationships really get their strength back. Get back into alignment, get their health in order, get their wounds healed, get their energy back up, and give really great advice and guidance on how to navigate the narcissistic relationships that they're in so that they can really either turn them around or walk away or find a new job or do what needs to be done. I help build those foundational skills. So today we are talking about how to trust again, or how to trust if you're in a relationship with a narcissist. So one of the biggest challenges that people have when you're especially in a long-term relationship with a narcissist, and most of us who have one now or had one in a romantic relationship typically had someone somewhere in our family lineage. So maybe we grew up with a mother that was that way, or a father, or a brother, or something else that was going on. And sometimes those things are situational. A lot of the narcissism in my family, the behaviors which were very narcissistic, were based on the high level of stress that my family was under, as well as, the emotional wounds and insecurities that my dad carried. And unfortunately, caused a big ripple effect for the rest of my life. But on the flip side, on the positive side, it unfolded beautifully. And that is the message of my lesson today, which is I'm grateful for the fact that the things that happened to me happened when I was small, because decades later, now that I'm a mature woman, I have the ability to see the whole process of what happened, of how those experiences affected me, how they turned me into the person that I am, how they evolved me, helped me grow, and how I can give back to my family and help my family heal. So I have this long range vision of 40 plus decades of learning and seeing how all of this narcissism stuff unfolds, how it affects us, and how we can turn it around. So here's my lesson around that, which is, in order to trust in any sort of toxic or narcissistic relationship, whether you don't necessarily have to trust the relationship, that may be very smart of you. I didn't when I was a kid. But in order to learn to trust people, you have to take a step back and see as big of a vision as possible. It's almost as if you have to parent yourself. You have to come into the situation and be your very own parent, someone who sees, yes, I know you're struggling with learning how to write your name, but if you practice and you keep at this, you're going to get good at it. And maybe you even, you'll be brilliant at it. But this is the process of how you go from not knowing what's happening and being insecure and struggling to the place where you say, you know what? I am a genius at this. I'm an expert at this. The problem is when you're small or when you're trapped in relationships from when you were young, and so you still end up kind of trapped in that age, is that we don't allow ourselves to go through that whole process, and we can't even see that whole process. I mean, because when you're 4, you can't see what it's going to be like when you are 50 or 60. You can't see that. When you're in your teens, you don't have the visioning or the ability to vision what it will be like when you get to the other side of this drama and trauma. But this is where you look for other people who've been there. People who can say, you know what, when you do the work, when you follow this process, this is where you get. So I'm here to tell you that this process that you're going through, this very difficult process of being in a relationship with a narcissist or a toxic person, getting to the other side of it, maybe leaving, maybe healing from it, what's going to happen if you keep doing this is that you will evolve to a place where you will be grateful for every single thing that happened to you, because it will give you depth, and it will give you insight and meaning, and it will give you peace and understanding that you cannot get many other ways. There is no real shortcut to this except facing ourselves and really dealing with our wounds and our misunderstandings that are going on. And when we change, then we're able to walk away from a relationship if we need to. We're able to transform it. We're able to find a better relationship. And most importantly, we're able to trust. We're able to trust not when we're in the moment. Trust isn't always that intuitive gut feeling of I trust you. That's an important piece, but that's in the moment. In order for you to really get to where you want to go, you have to trust in the process that you're in. You know, I've never been a big faith-based sort of person. I was raised Catholic, and through that Catholic experience, you know, where I was, you know, dealing with drama in my life as a kid, and the Catholic Church just was not recognizing that in any way, shape, or form. You know, I got kind of disillusioned with the Catholic Church, and being Irish, you know, Catholicism was a pretty big deal for us. Religion ran pretty deep. And so it never really resonated. And so I had a difficult time having faith in something that I couldn't see or understand. But what I did have faith in is I had faith in the process of how we grow as people. Now, this came because I was a kindergarten teacher. I have a degree in elementary education, and I would watch how people would evolve. And I'd learn how our brains would change and our bodies would change, and how when you do these things, when you learn, whether it's writing your name or, you know, voicing your truth, or standing up, or riding a bike, no matter what it is, we are plastic. We are designed to shift and change and grow and evolve and become so much bigger than we've ever been. That's what we're designed to do. That's what we're supposed to be doing all the time. And so I developed a deep-rooted faith in the process of what I was doing. As long as I was continuing to look at myself, continuing to work through the pain that would come up and to face the things that were difficult, especially the narcissists that are in your face, you know, that are playing with your head and manipulating your emotions and pulling you in all sorts of different directions for a wide variety of reasons. Their own insecurity, their own immaturity, their own, you know, mental health issues, their own wounds, whatever it may be. They're still in our face. They're still pulling us around. Until I started to really heal those wounds, that was the piece that shifted. And as long as I knew that I continued on this healing path, that I continued on this evolutionary path, because I'd seen it over and over and over with other people in my life, I knew if I stayed with this process that I would become whatever I was meant to become, some beautiful, amazing version of myself. And I like myself quite a bit right now. I think I'm pretty cool. But it went through all those evolutions. It went through all of those changes. So trust is less about trusting the person in front of you or trusting the situation, because, you know, sometimes those things can go all to hell. Absolutely, positively, without a doubt. Things can break apart and go the wrong direction, and you're sitting there, I have no idea why this happened. But okay, what are we going to do next? You know, that happens. That's life. But what you can trust in is the ability for you to evolve as a person, the ability for you to grow and learn, just like you learned how to tie your shoes, just how you learned how to eat with a fork or a spoon or a knife, or, you know, just as you went from a sippy cup to a regular cup. It's the same thing. You are always evolving and changing. And as long as you stay on that path, that conscious path of getting support and self-reflecting and learning new things and finding, you know, out how the universe works and creating your reality, as long as you stay on that path, no matter how small the step is, no matter how, you know, minuscule the movement seems to be or how long it seems to take, you are in process. You are in evolution. And that is what you can trust in. You can trust in, even if you don't trust in you, even if you don't trust in, you know, the narcissist, and that's smart. That's smart because they're volatile and unpredictable. Even if you don't do those things, trust in the process. Trust that, you know, if you continue to do the things which make you healthy and feel good, that you will get where you want to go. You will become the person that you want to become. And in fact, because of this experience that you're in now or that you're healing from, you are going to become a greater version of yourselves than you ever thought possible. You are going to become someone that you idolized, someone that you looked up to. This is where you're going. So trust is not about trusting the person. Trust is about trusting the process and trusting yourself that you're going to stick with the process. And by going through that process, you'll learn that some people you can trust and some people you can't. And you'll learn how to trust someone or something, how to check it out first, how to, have a couple hoops that they jump through, how to respect yourself and set boundaries. You learn all of these things, and it's beautiful and wonderful. So you need to trust that even when you fall, even when you screw up, even if, you go off the deep end for 10, 15, 20 years, even if that happens, that you're going to come back to the process. You have to believe in a growth mindset, which is the core of learning to trust. If you believe that you can grow, and physically, you're designed to. You're going to grow, you're going to change no matter what you do. Your brain's going to decline, your cells are going to recreate themselves, things are going to come, things are going to go. Your body is always connecting and reconnecting and creating. So even if you don't think it's possible, it's happening already. And so trust in that process, and trust that you can help direct that process, that you've got power and control over that process. You can influence it. And by influencing your process and becoming, more peaceful and more loving and more secure and balanced versions of yourself, you're not only going to attract other people who are like that, but you're going to bring out the best in the people around you. And it's very possible that the people who were toxic and narcissistic, they'll start to evolve and grow too. One, because you're showing them that it's possible. Two, because you're changing how you're interacting with them. And three, because we become most like the people that we spend time with. And so if narcissists spend time with you and you are dedicated to this healing path, to this growth and this love and all of that, then they're going to adapt and change as well. That's just what happens. That's just how it works. So how do you trust after or during a narcissistic relationship? You don't trust them. You don't even have to trust you. You trust the process. And as long as you keep walking through the process, even when you fall, even when you screw up, even when you fail, as long as you have that bigger term vision, that you're able to be a visionary for your own life and say, this is where I'm going. The reason I married my husband was one very good reason, is because I looked at his parents. And my husband is an amazing guy. I really, I attracted somebody pretty cool there, probably because I was wounded and I needed somebody who was really nice. So, and he showed up and he was really nice. So I looked at his parents and I said, you know what? He may not be amazing and phenomenal and off the chart here at 20, 21 years old, but when he's 50, he's going to be a fabulous husband. He's going to be awesome because he's dedicated to growth and evolution and change. And in all of my most important relationships, that's the key. Not where they're at, not what they're doing, not what their issues or struggles are, but the fact that they are dedicated to their own personal development. They're dedicated to continuing in the process, because if you keep with the process, then as long as you don't die, as long as you're still around doing this, you're going to keep moving forward, even when you take steps back. That's the way. So trust in the process. Learn to trust the process and look at your life, look at the things that have happened in your life and see that it's true. From the small things of, developing a new skill, being able to, wash dishes effectively, without leaving them dirty, learning how to sweep a floor, learning how to walk without falling on your face, all of those things. They are proof that you have the ability to learn. And as you've gotten older, maybe you've taken up new hobbies or new habits. That's proof that you have the ability to learn, that you are in process all the time. So here's your homework assignment for today. I want you to reflect back on your life. I want you to look at the reasons and the areas and the times that you changed, that you learned something new, that you grew as a person, that you got unstuck. Because I know it's happened, because it's happened whether you tried or not. It just happened. You got your driver's license and learned to drive, maybe, or you learned the best way to protect your back, when you're lifting something. This has happened. You have evolved and changed already. And so look back on that and really anchor in those experiences. Really reflect on that and say, you know what, I did a good job there. I did okay. I changed. I made a shift. I added something new. And when you do that, you will start to trust the process too. You'll see it as well. You'll see all the times that you changed, all the times that you did something different, and you will recognize that I might not be where I want to be, but I'm definitely going in the right direction. And if I keep doing this stuff, then I'm going to get where I want to go. And the people around me will either join me or they won't. And if they won't, it's just because you've gotten what you've needed from them, and it's time to move on. And you're ready for a better experience, because the value you're getting from the situation is not worth maybe the effort you're putting in. But you'll evolve, and then you'll start finding other people who are as evolved as you are, who can have those conversations and who don't attack you and who treat you with respect, because you respect yourself. You will teach the people around you how to treat you. So this is what you trust. Go back in your timeline, go back in your history, look for those moments and those times when you changed and evolved. Your brain is still plastic, it's still changing, so is your nervous system, so are your cells, so is your gut, always, always, always changing. And so the only difference is that now you do it mindfully, now you do it purposefully, now you do it with direction and intention. That's what you're doing. So you're on a good path, it's going to be okay. You're going to be fine. As long as you keep doing this, you're going to be fine. So you can trust in this process, okay? That's how you do it. So on May 8th, we're going to be having a narcissism expert roundtable. I'm going to be having, all those wonderful women who did interviews, CBD experts and, self-defense experts and psychics and astrologers and body-brain integration specialists and emotional freedom technique specialists and coaches. We're all going to be on. We're going to have this great roundtable on Wednesday, May 8th at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. We're going to do a free live stream on this channel. Going to have a wonderful moderator named Corey, and we've got some questions that we're going to do, and then we're going to end with Q&A. So if you've got stuff going on, if you just want to connect, if you just want to meet these women, if you think they've got some cool information that we can share, show up here 6 p.m. Central Standard Time next Wednesday, May 8th. And I'll keep reminding you every day so that you show up and you're there, because I don't want you to miss this, okay? Because it's a wonderful, synergistic, it's going to be a magical group of women, sharing the things that have worked for us best and make us the best version of ourselves possible. And I totally want to see you there, okay? So I love you much. Look back on your timeline, do your homework, join the healthy mindsets, for coping with narcissists. Join that group, invite other people to join this group, because you're going to be okay. We're going to get through this. And you're going to be fine. And I love you. Okay? So I'll talk to you later.